You know, every restaurant is a buffet if you're willing to pay, especially here in Las Vegas, the all-you-can-eat capital of the world. Hello friends, it's me, Shin, and I'm on a quest to vlog every restaurant on the Las Vegas Strip as well as downtown on Fremont Street. I'm 220 in, and this week for number 221, I'm coming to you right from the center of the Strip where I'm going to be showing you Cabo Wabo Cantina. Really happy to have you along. I'll see you inside. All right, my friends, and here we are seated at Cabo Wabo. The Cabo Wabo Cantina is right on the Las Vegas Strip at the Planet Hollywood, across the boulevard from the Bellagio fountains, with an absolutely fantastic view and a fun atmosphere inside, lively music, and bright and happy colors, a nice vibe in here. Now, regardless of the vibes, you know it's all about the food for me, so let's take a look at what they have to eat on the menu. Starting off with your beverage menu, here are some margaritas. Feel free to take a pause in the video if you'd like to take a closer look at these drinks. Some signature drinks here like Mai Tais, Pina Coladas, a couple of favorites here, Jello shots, and non-alcoholic drinks down here. And they serve Coca-Cola products, not Pepsi products. Here are their beers, as well as their breakfast cocktails, and their tequila list here. Nice long tequila list. And that's the beverage and cocktail menu here at Cabo Wabo. I'm not going to be doing any drinking today, just going to be going in on the food, so let's take a look at what they have to eat next. So here is your menu at Cabo Wabo. Let's take a look inside. Oh, okay, it's a tri-fold here, so I'm going to try and hold it down so you can get a proper look at this. Here are your appetizers, a lot of standard looking chips and salsa, guacamole and salsa. Okay, so it doesn't look like these chips and salsa are included, which unfortunately irks me a little bit. I wish they were at Mexican restaurants. Oh, but they have an appetizer sampler here, so that makes it pretty easy to test stuff. Soups and salads down here. Let's see, tortilla soups, these are salad, Mexican chop salad, and a chicken tostada salad. Nice. Now we get to the food. Here are your burritos in the center, your choice of beef short rib, chicken al carbone, carnitas, carne asada, and mushroom and veggie. Fajitas here as well, with a lot of those same proteins and fillings. Here are your specialties, chicken enchiladas, carnitas platter. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Here we have tacos and quesadillas, crispy beef tacos, shrimp tacos, yeah, all sorts of tacos, as well as a cotija cheese grilled quesadilla there. And then we also have sandwiches and burgers. Sandwiches and burgers, interesting. So, yeah, just getting a little bit of a mix. What do we have here on the back? Okay, so they also have a brunch served until 2 p.m. Let's see here, we've got a lot of breakfast items here, steak and eggs, and the rest of that brunch down here. Not here for the brunch hours though. It looks like there's actually a little bit more info here. Okay, yeah, so all you can drink mimosas or bellinis served until 2 p.m. for $33 with the brunch. Yep, and there's your menu here at Cabo Wabo. Pretty classic looking Mexican menu here at Cabo Wabo. Plenty I'm looking forward to trying today, and you know how it goes in my videos. Every restaurant is a buffet if you want to pay. I'm gonna get a nice variety together. We're gonna see what Cabo Wabo is all about. Appetizer coming up first. I'll see you when they arrive. And welcome back, my friends. Now our appetizer just got here. This is looking pretty good. Let me give you a view. I got an appetizer sampler as well as a bowl of their chicken tortilla soup. A lot of good looking classics here. Let's give these all a try. First off, the chicken tortilla soup. Now, this is poured table side so that you can maintain as much crispiness in the recipe as possible. I've got a nice big spoonful with all the ingredients here. Let's give it a taste.
Oh, me too. I work. I need to start buying the golden.
Oh yeah, not bad. It's a pretty decent tortilla soup. Starting with all the namesake elements, I like the tortilla strips in here. They maintain a fantastic crunch. And if you watched my channel enough, you know I'm a big texture guy. And so having that crunch was really fun. There's big chunks of chicken in this soup. And the chicken is quite tender, although maybe a tad on the stringy side. I really like the creamy factor that you get from the sour cream in this. A nice bit of tang coming from that as well. Although much of the richness comes from the cheese as well as the avocado. I think the broth is okay. It seems to have a bit of a dilemma of whether it wants to be savory or smoky. It seems to be holding back in both departments. I would really like some bigger and bolder spices here, and especially that smoky flavor to come through a little bit more. Not bland though, still some decent flavors here. Overall, a decent chicken tortilla soup. Next up, the chicken wings. You're given a choice between sweet barbecue sauce or a hot and spicy. We went with hot and spicy here. Let's see how the chicken wings are today.
100% like the fucking meat. Some people just put a ponytail on it and it makes it
Oh yeah, not bad. Yeah, pretty decent hot wing here. I like the fry job on the chicken, a nice crispy skin, and the meat is quite juicy. I appreciate the fry job on this. Now there's an odd sugar element here, both in the middle of the bite as well as in the aftertaste. There's quite a sweet hit. It's a little bit off-putting for me because I was wholly expecting spice, and while there is a decent spice here, it's a bit of a straightforward cayenne pepper spice. Personally, I wish it was a little bit more smoky, and maybe a little bit more tang as well, but maybe that's just me looking for more of my Americanized buffalo flavorings that I'm used to. The cook on the chicken is decent, but I do think the sauce could be a little bit better balanced. Overall, not bad though. Still a good chicken wing. Next up, the taquito. Pretty classic looking taquito here. It might be beef. It is a bit greasy though in my fingers, but I guess we'll see how it tastes. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty decent taquito. I like the skin, ultra crispy, relatively light as well, despite the fact that it is a bit greasy. But you can actually still get the corn flavor here. A decent skin to the taquito. Now it's a chicken-based filling, and it's shredded, although I will say texture-wise it's actually quite mushy. I do wish the chicken had a little bit more body to it. Outside of the mushy texture though, it does have some decent flavors. There is a melted cheese inside that's quite rich and delivering some nice salinity. Relatively well seasoned. Yeah, this is good. Solid taquito there. Now this is served alongside some queso. We'll give it a bit of a dip here. Let's see how this is. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like their queso sauce. Very thick and very creamy queso sauce. It does have a nice salinity to it, and a bit of a smoky heat as well. Personally, for me, I think the cheese does taste a bit processed. I wouldn't mind a little bit more of a natural cheese flavor here. But actually, it did accent the taste of the taquito quite well, and I imagine this goes fine with chips too. A pretty decent queso right there. Next up, nachos. You have some pinto bean nachos in the middle of the sampler platter, and I've got a chip with a lot of the ingredients here. Let's give these a taste. Oh yeah, not bad. Some pretty standard, decent nachos here. The chips are fine. A very fresh crunch, not stale at all. And while you can certainly get some of that maize corn flavor, I wouldn't mind if that was a little bit more robust. I do like the guacamole here though. It's creamy, it's rich, it actually has a nice amount of citrus. I wouldn't mind a little bit of additional spice, but this is relatively approachable for all palates. A pretty straightforward and enjoyable guacamole here. The sour cream is providing a nice richness as well as some additional tang and the namesake sour flavors. And I believe this is a very similar queso sauce to what we saw earlier with the dip for the taquitos. A nice earthiness coming from those refried beans. And if you get a jalapeno on your chip, you certainly get a nice blast of heat there as well. Some pretty standard nachos here. All right, my friends, now the last bite to try from our appetizers today is gonna be their quesadilla. A nice cheese-crusted tortilla here. Cheese on this quesadilla. Hopefully it tastes good. Let's see how it is. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. A good quesadilla here. Starting with the tortilla itself. I wouldn't say anything special. A relatively straightforward flour quesadilla, but it has been well heated, it's not cracking at the fold, and it's ultimately a good vessel for the quesadilla. A standard Mexican cheese blend of Monterey Jack and cheddar in the center provides a nice richness and salinity, that's working fine, but also very, very standard. Very clearly, the cheese-crusted exterior is what delivers the most flavor, a slightly nutty toasted flavor to that, also offering a bit of a texture crunch. I really enjoy this type of preparation for a quesadilla, and this hasn't changed my mind on the opinion. A perfectly tasty quesadilla right there. All right, everyone, now that's all of the appetizer I'm trying today. I'm joined by a couple of my buddies, and we're going to continue working through this, and we'll do our first round of entrees, and I'll be right back. And welcome back, my friends. Now it is time for our first round of entrees, which just got here. This is pretty good. Let me give you a view. I got a Jack and Coke barbecue bacon burger, as well as their chicken sandwich, some crispy beef tacos, as well as their fish tacos. Some interesting mix for Mexican food here. Let's give it a try. First off, the chicken sandwich. Now, as I am being joined by my buddies, we've already kind of cut this up. Let's give this a try. Oh yeah, that's good. Nice, a pretty solid chicken sandwich. Starting with the bun. Super soft brioche bun here. Extra fluffy. It's slightly toasted in the center. although I wouldn't say it's maintained a lot of its crisp. I really like this airy texture in the bread. It has a slightly sweet but overall neutral flavor. Perfect bun for the sandwich. I'm enjoying the chicken breast here. While not the juiciest chicken breast I've ever had, it's not completely dried out, and you do get a little bit of smokiness coming from those grill marks. And in general, the chicken's been well seasoned. There's something like a chipotle mayonnaise sauce on this, and it does provide some creamy richness, although personally I wouldn't mind if there's a little bit more spice in here. It's a bit mild for my taste. I say this especially because there are some pickles here providing a nice sour tang, and a bit more of a smoky, spicier sauce would help balance a lot better against those pickles. But I see what they're going for, and overall this actually does taste pretty good. Solid chicken sandwich here at Cabo Wabo. Next up, the Jack and Coke barbecue burger. Looks like we're using the same brioche bun, and I asked for this burger cooked medium. Looks pretty close at temperature. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, it's good. This is a pretty tasty burger. We are using the same bun that we had with the chicken sandwich. Super fluffy, nicely toasted, a good brioche bun here. I think the burger patty here is just fine. We've got a hot pink center. They've certainly hit this pretty close to medium. While I personally wish a little bit more of a crust is formed on the outside of the burger, it has been well seasoned, a bit more of a peppery mix. I do like that just fine. The cheddar cheese provides a nice richness. And while there is lettuce and tomato present, I wouldn't actually say that they impact the flavors of the burger all that much. You get a nice big smoky salinity coming from the bacon, and a very smoky flavor coming from the barbecue sauce. Much smokier than I'm typically used to. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily bad either. It's actually a pretty tasty smoky barbecue sauce. It is sweet and tangy, and a good tasting barbecue sauce. I do think it's just slightly overpowering when it comes to the overall flavor profile, but in general, this burger does come together pretty nicely. A perfectly fine barbecue cheeseburger. Now, both the chicken sandwich and the burger come along with some french fries, and these do have a nice color to them. Let's see how they taste though. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. Perfectly fine french fries at Cabo Wabo. A nice crunch, a good crisp to that exterior, especially given that potato starch coating. They're definitely able to maintain the crisp. They're nicely seasoned, certainly not bland fries. Given the color, you might expect a little bit more depth to the flavors, but it is a pretty straightforward french fry flavor. Thankfully, that does mean they're not bland. And while not the most pillowy center, I would say texture-wise, in general, the fries are pretty good. Some enjoyable french fries, that's just fine. Next up, crispy beef taco. Now, the crispy beef taco comes in a pair, which leaves me slightly salty. Personally, I think all tacos in New Mexican restaurants like this should come in trios, but hopefully it still tastes great. Let's see how the crispy beef taco is. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. A very tasty taco. I think I actually like everything about this. The taco shell is crispy, not all that greasy, and you can actually make out some decent corn flavor here. Overall, I'm perfectly happy with this taco shell. Pretty fresh produce here, a nice healthy crunch coming from that lettuce, and it's been absolutely stuffed with cheese, so a lot of richness and salinity coming from that. I must admit, I like the beef here. It's very tender and actually quite juicy as well. It's been well seasoned. It's quite savory as well as a bit of a heat to it. Just a little bit of spice coming from the peppers that it's been stewed in, although I'd say the majority of the spice actually comes from the salsa that's been put on top. The seasoning feels really good here. Overall, the flavors are well balanced and coming together well. That's a good crispy beef taco. Next up, fish tacos. Baja fish tacos, and you do get 3 to an order here. That makes me quite happy, and I've already splashed some lime on top of this. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, that's good. A solid fish taco. This is all working well for me. Pretty straightforward flour tortilla here. It's nice and pliable, not cracking at any folds, with a very neutral flavor. Perfectly fine. I like the fish. They're using a codfish here, and it does have a nice mild flavor, although I wouldn't necessarily say the most flaky fish I've ever had. It is kind of breaking apart, but the flavors are still fine. A nice crispy skin to the exterior, and you can get a little bit of a bitter beer flavor in that skin. Not a bad crust. Overall, that works just fine. The produce here is nice. Healthy lettuce, a good fresh pico de gallo, all working well here, but it's really the pickled onions with a little bit of that acidic tang that's helping to deliver a bit of balance to the overall taco. It's there to balance against a very creamy, rich white sauce, mayonnaise base with a little bit of a chipotle smokiness to it. All said, this comes together well. Perfectly fine fish taco right there. All right, everyone, now the last bite to try from my first round of entrees is going to be the side that came along with both of my tacos. That's the rice and beans. Overall, I like the colors I see here with the rice and beans, and a good mix of both on the fork. Let's give this a taste. Oh yeah, it's good.
We got some flavorful rice and beans here. A nice cook on this rice. A surprisingly fluffy texture with a nice savory flavor. It's been very well seasoned. One of the better seasoned Mexican rices that I've had. The refried beans here are nice. A very earthy flavor, although maybe just ever so slightly under seasoned. I would say without mixing it with the rice, this could be a tad on the bland side. Together though, they work very well. Beans and rice are going together nicely.
That's a pretty good side for tacos. That's working just fine. All right, my friends, so that's everything from our first round of entrees. My buddies and I are going to continue working through this, and when we'll do our next round, don't go anywhere, I'll be right back. And welcome back, everyone. Now it's time for our second round of entrees. With my second round, I decided to go in on a lot of their specialties. Let me give you a view.
We got some steak fajitas here, as well as their short rib enchiladas, a vegetable quesadilla, and their green go burrito.
Some tasty looking entrees here. Let's give them a try. First off, steak fajitas.
Nice big but standard looking fajita platter. I've got a flour tortilla and I made a taco of all the ingredients.
Let's give it a taste. Oh yeah, it's pretty good.
Some pretty decent fajitas here. Now we've tried several of the elements already, but to quickly recap, a straightforward standard but good flour tortilla, nicely seasoned rice with some earthy pinto beans, a Mexican cheese blend of Monterey Jack and cheddar, providing a nice salinity, with the creamy richness of the guacamole and the nice tang coming from that sour cream. All of the elements we've tried so far are working fine here. So really the discussion comes down to the steak, and I'll say it's actually pretty decent. Now it looks like they've cooked the steak probably closer to medium well. Thankfully though, it's not super dried out, and while I wouldn't say it's ultra tender, it's certainly not super chewy. A nice char flavor coming from the grill, and the steak has been well marinated. A nice chimichurri on top provides a good freshness, as well as some good flavors. The fajita vegetables here are very nice, perfectly softened, a nice caramelized sweetness coming from both the peppers and onions. That is working really well with the fajitas. Overall, this is pretty standard, but good.
I'm perfectly happy with fajitas like that. Next up, the green go burrito.
I believe this is something like a healthier option. It's grilled chicken and some kind of a green dipping sauce. I've already applied some on top. I've already applied some in the middle here.
Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, not bad.
Well, I can certainly attest that this is likely a healthy option. It does taste that way, and that's not to say it's bad. Starting with the tortilla, this is a whole wheat tortilla, and so there is a little bit more of an earthy flavor here, but it's not too dominating. It's really just an accent flavor toward the beginning of the bite, although I will say structurally it is kind of tearing at certain folds. Overall, I'm perfectly happy with that. The grilled chicken inside is nice. It's cooked all the way through, but it is a tad on the dry side. I certainly wouldn't mind if this was a little bit more juicy, although to be honest with you, I don't know if it's all that well seasoned. I do think the chicken is a little bit bland because on its own it doesn't have all that much flavor. The lettuce and tomato here are fine, nice freshness there, as well as a creamy richness coming from the avocados. That's all working great. Now to be honest with you, the saving grace flavor profile wise when it comes to this whole burrito is the jalapeno ranch that it's served with. This sauce adds a lot. Not only is it creamy, but it is a well seasoned sauce with a nice kick, oddly still delivering a bit of a cooling richness. The sauce is the boss when it comes to this particular burrito. I definitely wouldn't want to go without it.
Overall, it does taste pretty healthy though. Next up, short rib enchiladas.
You're served 2 giant enchiladas, and I've got a nice big fork full here.
Let's see how it is. Oh yeah, that's good.
A good tasting short rib enchilada. We'll go from the outside in. The enchilada sauce here is very smoky. Personally, I wouldn't mind if it was a little bit more on the savory side. It's smoky, almost edging on bitter. That said, there's a nice depth to it. Some smoked chili flavors are certainly coming through that sauce. And it is well seasoned, I do like it. Nice amount of cheese provides richness, and some sour cream is working well. The tortilla here is super soft, very pliable. Although not adding too much to the flavors, it's certainly lost to the sauce. But it's holding everything together, so it's doing its job fine. The short rib inside is actually very good. Quite tender, probably some of the more juicy meat that I've had in the day. It does have a nicely stewed chili flavor, and just a hint of spice to keep things interesting. Probably one of the better flavor profiles I've had in the day.
Some tasty enchiladas right there. All right, everyone, now the last entree that I'm trying here at Cabo Wabo today is going to be their vegetable quesadilla.
Those of you who watch the channel enough know that I like to get a nice variety and ensure that a lot of dietary options are covered. This one's going out to my vegetarians out there.
And it does look pretty similar to the one we had earlier with the appetizers, but let's see how it is. Oh yeah, that's good.
Perfectly fine quesadilla here. As it shares a lot of similarities with the version that we had in the appetizer round, I guess that's no surprise that it comes out pretty decent. Nice flour tortilla here, neutral in flavor, nicely pliable, perfectly toasted, a nice vessel for the larger quesadilla. Lots of cheese in this particular quesadilla, so much more than the appetizer, and that cheese is very rich. I'm typically a fan of the Mexican cheese blend of Monterey Jack and Cheddar, and this quesadilla is a pretty decent example as to why. I really do like the toasted cheese on the exterior. That slightly nutty accent flavor does so much to provide additional complexity and depth to the overall flavor profile. It does so much for the quesadilla, and I'm liking it a lot. Now, the vegetarian quesadilla comes with a mix of caramelized peppers, onions, as well as mushrooms, and I particularly happen to love the mix. Caramelized onions are the best in my book. That nutty sweetness works really well along with those peppers, and getting a nice spongy texture as well as an earthiness from those mushrooms is providing some additional layers. All of this is coming together well and tasting great. A perfectly good vegetable quesadilla right there. All right, everyone, so that's all of the food I'm trying today. My buddies and I are going to take a few more bites and then box a lot of this to go. We're going to do some dessert next. Don't go anywhere because sweets are coming up. And welcome back, everyone. Now all my food is boxed up and good to go, so it's time for some sweets. Let's take a look at the dessert menu together. So here is a additional kind of beverage menu with a lot of specials here. But here is the dessert menu at Cabo Wabo. We've got a fried ice cream. Oh, fried ice cream. If you watch the channel enough, you know I love fried ice cream. We've got churros and a bread pudding as well. This all sounds really good. But 3 dessert options here at Cabo Wabo. Looking really nice. I'm a little bit torn. I'm not entirely sure what to order, but I'm gonna go and get my order in. And for all of you at home, I'm gonna make that appear right now. All right, everyone, and here it is. I had to do it. It's the deep fried ice cream. One of my favorite Mexican desserts. I'm not entirely sure if this is really authentic to the culture, but it's always been something that I loved eating. And I've got a nice big spoonful here. Let's see how it is. Oh yeah, that's good. Very tasty fried ice cream. I'm liking this dessert a lot. A very crispy tortilla shell, dusted in cinnamon and sugar, providing a very nice sweetness as well as a chocolate drizzle. It sets up the textures perfectly for what's about to come. A layer of frosted flakes is surrounding this ice cream, providing a nice sweet crunch. It has been deep fried, also providing a little bit of a richness. That is tasty. The ice cream inside is still very cold and a little bit dense, not ultra creamy, obviously having to stand up to the heat of the deep fryer. It does have a smooth vanilla flavor, and in conjunction with the woodsy sweetness of that cinnamon sugar on the outside, this does come together as a very flavorful bite. I'm enjoying this quite a bit. A nice deep fried ice cream today. All right, everyone, now that's gonna do it for my dinner here at Cabo Wabo off the strip here in Las Vegas. All of the food you saw today came out to just under $330 before tip, and my friends and I had a really nice time. The appetizer sampler certainly comes with a lot of options, and I think I enjoyed the taquitos the most. I think the crispy beef taco was probably my favorite flavors in this first round of entrees, and the short rib enchiladas was probably my favorite overall. The deep fried ice cream was good, something I always enjoy. While the food is okay, I'd say it's really about the vibes as well as that incredible view of Las Vegas Boulevard across the street from the Bellagio fountains. That's an enormous selling point of this restaurant. And so if you're interested in Cabo Wabo here in Las Vegas, I hope this video has been informative for you. All right, my friends, now that's going to do it for this week's video where I continue my quest to vlog every restaurant on the Las Vegas Strip as well as downtown off Fremont Street. Make sure you return next Saturday. I would love to have you as I continue to add to my collection. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic week. I hope you enjoyed Vegas with me, Shin. Bye.